Hey everyone, welcome to my Discord. I'm Nyangu and I'm happy to have you guys here. I just want to explain or just expand a bit on what we're going to do during this 30 days period with the exercises. I have my notes here. I know some terms may be a bit new to some people, or just the way we understand things may be different. So I want to just make sure we're on the same page in the way we approach this 30 days journey together. So firstly, I'll start with the first exercise. I'm sure you can see I listed every exercise in one of the channels on the Discord. I think it was called about the challenge. Yeah. So you see that different channels, and every channel will have information based off what the channel is about, right? So in one of the channels, I have the 10 exercises that we're going to practice together, and I just want to expand on them just a little bit so that we're on the same page. So the first one is 3 to 5 minutes meditation. So for those who are a bit unfamiliar with meditation, I'll just expand a bit on this. I'll try and make this video as short as possible. I hope I really make it short, because I know sometimes I can talk a lot and then I just go overboard. I'll try my best. Okay, so for the first one, it's a 3 to 5 minutes meditation. So if you're somebody who's familiar with meditation, you're free to go as long as 10 minutes. Like for me, sometimes I go as long as 40 minutes when I'm really in the zone. Like when I've been doing it consistently for days or weeks, I'm able to like sustain a long period of time being in a meditative state. But then if it's something that's very new to you and you know it's a very new concept, 3 minutes is perfectly fine. It's just as I think it's just as effective. So so this is going to be a 3 to 5 minutes meditation, breath work and feeling. What I mean by that is that, so there are different forms of meditations, right? There's walking meditation, there's movement meditation, there's stillness meditation. There are different forms of meditations. So sometimes, you know, when you're going for a walk and you're just very present in that walk, that's a meditative state for you. Even like when you practice yoga, for those who have practiced yoga, just moving your body and focusing on your breath during the yoga practice in itself is meditative. It's like moving meditation. So there are different forms of meditations, right? So what we're doing here is focusing basically on breathing meditation and feeling like you have what you want. So let's say, for example, I want to be more abundant. I want to be more financially free. I want to experience more financial abundance. So what this practice would look like during my meditation would be me focusing on my breath as I meditate, right? So when I say focus on your breath, I mean as you are breathing, when you breathe, you take in deep breaths, and you take so you inhale deeply and you exhale slowly. You inhale deeply and you exhale slowly, and you are present and you are focused on your breath. When your thoughts keep running rampage, when you think about the next thing and whatever, you just bring your awareness back to your breath. That's what I mean by breath work and feeling meditation. On the feeling part, what I mean is so let's say you want to experience financial abundance, right? Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear the dogs, but yeah, they're playing. So let's say if you want to experience abundance, right? So then what this would look like would be, when you're meditating, you like ask yourself mentally, what would it feel like if I was financially abundant? Like, what would that feel like? How would I feel in my spirit, in my heart? How would I just move through life if I was abundant? So then sometimes you think maybe your parent would be like, oh, congratulations on your new job. If it's through a job, if it's through a business, people telling you like, oh, congrats on your business, like, girl or boy, you know, whatever it is, like, you just picture what it would be like if people were telling you like congratulations, or just what it would feel like for you if you're going to the mall and just shopping and just getting whatever you want, because you know you can pay for anything because you have financial freedom. So basically during the meditation, you just make yourself familiar with what it would feel like if you had the thing that you want. Like, you're basically teaching your body to feel like you already have the thing that you want. So let's say it's just happiness. Maybe you've been in a bad place, you've been uncomfortable, you've been overthinking. So what this would look like would be, during your meditation, you ask yourself, what would it feel like if I was filled with peace and joy and happiness? And sometimes, because maybe you've never really been that kind of person, it may feel very unfamiliar and foreign. Like, it may feel like your body has no idea what you're talking about because you've maybe never experienced it before. But the beauty is that with practice, you will know, your body will know what it feels like to be abundant, or it will know what it feels like to feel at peace, or whatever it is that you're trying to create for yourself. So basically, this meditation is just to focus on the feeling of having the thing that you want, or being the person that you want to be, whilst breathing deeply. The breathing part is just to help you relax, to ground your body, and to regulate your nervous system. So breathing slowly, breathing deeply just helps you stay grounded through the practice. And then through your imagination, through visualization, or through just tapping into your emotions, you feel like what it would feel like if you had the thing that you want. So that's for the first one. So for the second one, it's journaling. So I don't know if everyone journals here, but if you don't, I hope you're willing and open to trying this out for the next 30 days. So basically, you just write in your journal every day. You write your life. You write about your life like you have what you want. So let's say, for example, I would write things like, um, let's say I want to experience traveling the world, right? So then I would write something like, my life is so beautiful, I'm just so happy. So I'm just acting like I'm writing. So my life is so beautiful, I'm just so happy, I have so much money in abundance, I'm traveling the world, I'm traveling to Italy, it's so beautiful, I'm traveling to Jamaica, I love the foods in Jamaica, it's so beautiful, I'm so happy. You know, just like writing things like they're already happening. And you write in your journal every day for 30 days. So the idea is not just writing. The magic isn't in writing, really. It's in like changing your energetic state. So when you're writing, try to look for that feeling of excitement as you are writing. Like really immerse yourself fully in that experience. When you're writing, like write it like it's really happening. Like be delusional, like really just play around with your imagination, you know, create scenarios in your mind, like, oh, on the plane experience this, you know, like really get into it. You know, the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. So if you repeatedly do something, feel an emotion, or say something to yourself, your mind takes it as the absolute truth. So that's kind of where we're coming from here. But we are working with the way the mind works, right? So the idea is to fully immerse yourself in the thing that you want, like it's already happened, through journaling. It's one really good practice. If you feel like it's just not in you to journal, you don't have to, it's fine. We have 10 things to practice here. So if you don't want to journal, I think it's okay, you can leave it out. But I would encourage you to give it a try, you know. Yeah. So the next thing is practicing awareness. So practicing awareness, so what I mean here is basically just watching your thoughts. This one is pretty self-explanatory, right? So you just watch your thoughts. Sometimes we think so negatively and we don't even know, because it's the way we've been thinking our whole life. Like you've been negative your whole life, so you don't even know you're negative. It's just literally like who you are. So here what you're practicing is becoming aware, because you can't change what you don't know. So then you become aware of the way you think. So if you're somebody who usually thinks negatively, just pay attention to your thoughts. This is without judgment, it's without shame, it's without, you know, making yourself feel bad or whatever, or regretting. It's just to become aware. You know, and then you do better after you know. So when you practice awareness, you just kind of observe, become the observer of your life. Observe how you think about yourself. What do you think about your life? What do you think about your love life? If you're single, what do you think about yourself when you're in relationships? What do you think about men if you're a woman? What do you think about women if you're a man? What do you think about money? What do you think about your health? What do you think about your appearance? What do you think about your family? What are your thoughts in regards to everything? If you're a very negative person, then just notice those thoughts, don't judge yourself, and then change them. I'm almost reaching 10 minutes in this video. I hope I can make it less than 15 minutes, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so next one is mirror work. So, you know, every time I would listen to people talk about mirror work on YouTube, I just never really, it just seemed kind of like what's the point of doing that? You know what I mean? Like, why am I looking in the mirror talking to myself? It just it just didn't seem like it was necessary. But I never understood much about, I never did it, so I didn't know. And that's the thing, you never really know much about something until you try it. So one time I saw this girl's YouTube video, she was speaking about mirror work, and it just seemed, I connected with it. So I thought, you know what, let me give this thing a try. So basically looking into the mirror and then affirming, like you look into your eyes. I wish I had my mirror here. You just get a mirror and then you look into your eyes. So the idea is to look into your eyes. That's the idea. You don't just look in the mirror and like look at your clothes, at your hair, at your skin. You're looking into your eyes, and then you affirm to yourself what it is that you want to be true for you. So let's say you look into the mirror and you just tell yourself like, I'm beautiful, I'm healthy, I have an amazing life, I succeed in what I do, everything I touch turns to gold. Just speak life into yourself and look deep into your eyes. Guys, I don't know what this does, but it does a very powerful thing. Like, I think it's about, I read something that said, you know, when you talk to someone and you look into their eyes, right? There's something about the way you connect with the person when you're looking deep into each other's eyes as you are speaking, right? It's almost like you can see their soul and they can see your soul. It's just like a very like deep experience. Now you're looking into your own eyes, so you're connecting with yourself whilst telling yourself what is true for you. That's a very powerful practice. So mirror work for 1 to 2, I mean, it can be 5 seconds, it can be 10 seconds, it's really up to you. Just look in the mirror and tell yourself, and you can do this when you're brushing your teeth, you can do this when you're just preparing for work or whatever it is that you do. Look in the mirror and just tell yourself what is true for you. And yeah, like whenever you look in the mirror, only say a positive thing. So you can do this 1 to 2 times a day, every morning and every night. If you can do it more times a day, then feel free to do that. Fifth one is embodiment practices. So basically, when I say embodiment, it's very similar to the first one with meditation. When I say embodiment, I basically just mean being like teaching yourself what it feels like to become the thing that you want. So sometimes you can even do it like you can be in the office and just ask yourself like, what would it feel like if I was rich? And you just like tap into that feeling, like really tap into the feeling of what it would be like if you were abundant, and just make your body become very familiar with what that's like. Make your mind become very familiar with what that's like. So you can do this anytime throughout the day, you know, or you could do it before you sleep, you could do it when you just wake up, whatever feels comfortable and natural for you. Just find times during the day when you just teach yourself what it feels like to be the person that you want to be, or to feel the things that you want to feel. So that's embodiment practices. Yeah. And then the sixth one, listen to affirmation tips. So in the resources channel, I've put affirmation tips by this really good YouTuber called High Frequency Guru. I think she makes amazing affirmation tips, but you're free to find your own. If you feel like you don't really connect to her vibe, you can find your own. The idea is just to play at least 1 to 3 affirmation tips every single day. You can fall asleep to them, or you can play them when you just wake up, or you could play them when you're working, when you're driving, when you're going for your walk. Just find time throughout your day to play an affirmation tip, guys. Affirmation tips like amazing, just amazing. Okay, yeah. So the 7th one, repeat positive affirmations throughout your day. So first of all, I'm pretty sure some of us in the group already know, like well, okay, let me just say this. Affirmations are basically we're always affirming. When you're speaking, you're affirming. When you're thinking, you're affirming. Every thought, every word that you say, it never just it never, what's the saying, something like it never comes, it never, I don't know how they say it, but there's a saying about it coming back void or something. I think there's a Bible verse like that. But basically everything that you say comes back to you. Everything that you think, it comes back to you. So basically what we're doing here is watching your thoughts, not watching your thoughts really, but like repeating positive words to yourself throughout the day. So one of my favorite YouTubers is a girl called Sammy Ingram, and she talks up, and she gave this really good way of doing your affirmations, where you can do them during your daily chores. Like let's say when you're washing dishes, you're affirming. If you're driving to work or you're driving to school, you're affirming. You know, when you are just going for your walk, you're affirming. So I think that's a very powerful way to just reprogram your mind. Like let's say if you're cooking and you're like clearing the dishes and everything, and it takes you 2 hours to do that, right? Within those 2 hours, if you're affirming, you've basically been affirming for 2 hours straight. That is a long time. So imagine if you're doing this every single day. You find time. If you're showering and you take 10 minutes to shower, for 10 minutes you're affirming to yourself. You're doing this instead of, because you know, like when we're showering, most of the times the mind just kind of like goes to so many different places. You think of the past, you think of old arguments, you think of so many things, but then now you're being intentional. You don't let your mind control you, you control your mind. So you choose what you're going to think. So whilst you're showering, you choose and say, you know what, I'm going to think about, or I'm going to affirm for my life overall. And you just say things like, my life is beautiful, things work out easily for me, I'm filled with abundance, I'm guided, I'm protected, I'm always safe, I'm loved, I'm smart, I'm creative, you know, things like that. Visualize your dream life before bed. So before bed, visualize your dream life. I'm trying to hurry up because I'm already 15 minutes in. That's a very, very, very long time. So visualize your dream life before bed, right? So basically, before you sleep, you visualize your dream life. You visualize what it is you want to experience. So visualization to me is like daydreaming, but you're only doing it with intention. You know how when you're daydreaming, you literally zone out into a different world. You know how sometimes you can be with people, then you just zone out, you be thinking of something, you completely lose yourself in that thought to the point that you almost forget where you are. You know what I mean? Like when you're daydreaming. But then that's usually like it's what's the word? It's like it's not intentional, it just happens, like it's random. But then visualization is intentional. You are deliberately choosing what thought to lose yourself in. So you choose the best thoughts, of course, right? So before bed, you think about what you think, you focus on what you want your life to be like, and you sleep in the feeling and in the thought of having the thing that you want. Every single day before bed, we visualize our dream life. Every single day before bed for these 30 days, visualize your dream life. I know some days can be hard. Even with me, sometimes I plan on doing this, but then some days I'm just so upset, I'm sad about something and I don't manage to do it. But I try to always, at least I try anyway. And if you fail, the next day you try again. The idea is to keep persisting and not giving up, right? It's not because we're human. Some days it's normal to feel down and you don't really feel like doing these things. That's okay. But the idea is not to stay in those negative states. The idea is not to make a negative state your dwelling place. The idea is to make your positive state the dwelling place. That's why we're trying to make the way we think, thinking in your favor, being in your favor, a dominant state of being through all these practices, through feeling and through thoughts. Yeah. And then mindful social media consumption. Yeah, this one is self-explanatory, right? You're basically mindful with what you watch and feed your mind, because what you watch over and over again, that repetitive action of seeing something over and over again can reprogram your mind or condition your mind to take it as the truth. And just romanticize your life. This one is also quite self-explanatory, right? You just basically look at your life to be a beautiful thing. And I know it's sometimes it's hard, like if things aren't going well, I know it just seems like, but then how do you do that when you're not really enjoying things right now? Like, how do you do that? It's just practice. When you practice these things over and over again, I promise you it gets easier, guys. So I want to just say that we don't really need to do things to change the way you think. Literally just deciding to say, you know what, I don't believe that to be true anymore. What I believe is that I'm abundant and I'm safe and whatever is enough. Literally just deciding is enough. There's no need to even do anything. There's no need to really script in your journal, mirror work. These things they're just tools, right? Yeah, they're just tools to help us get very familiar with the new state of being. But truly just deciding that you are the person who you want to be is enough. These practices, however, can be very helpful and are just tools to help us through this journey and just to make the challenge worthwhile. So I've been practicing these things myself, honestly, for the past, I think, 3 weeks, and I've noticed a huge difference. And because of that, I feel inspired to share this with others, and I hope that we can learn something together and have fun with this experience. It shouldn't be anything too serious, like, let's have fun with it, and also let's stay committed to this. And yeah, let's really stay committed. The main thing is being persistent. You continue even on days when you feel down. It's okay. You continue to remind yourself and say, okay, you know what, I feel down, but that's okay. Regardless of how down I feel, I will still get the things that I want. I will still be, not I will, I am the person who I want to be. I still have the things I desire to have. Even when you're sad, you just remind yourself and say, okay, you know what, I'm sad and that's fine. However, I still choose to have this kind of experience. And if you just need to take a break. Don't do anything, just relax and watch Netflix. If you're feeling overwhelmed with, it shouldn't be overwhelming. It shouldn't be like a chore. It shouldn't be like punishment. It shouldn't be like you have to do this. but it should just be more of like, okay, because I love myself and because I want to change my reality, then I'm going to be willing to change the way I think, since everything begins in the mind. So working with our thoughts is the real work. It's, you know, and excuse me, it's energetic work, it's inner work, it's the real work. So yes, I hope we enjoyed this together and have fun, you guys. Bye.